My name is Eddy Tannous. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Rotana.
Thank you so much for giving up some time to Breaking Travel News here at the Future Hospitality Summit in Riyadh.
It's my pleasure.
Give us an update.
There's a lot of updates. I think the main theme is how fast the Saudi Arabia hospitality scene is growing. It obviously started with the announcement of Vision 2030 a few years ago now by the Crown Prince, and I was operating in Saudi Arabia during those 3 years. I was 2020, 2021, 2022 in Saudi Arabia, and today looking back on those few years, it's been unbelievable. The catalyst for change is there. Every hotel brand, every hospitality leader is there. For us in Rotana, we are a brand from this region. We were born in the GCC, and today we're going out, we're growing outside of our inception point. So being in Saudi Arabia is a very natural thing for us to be. We're operating 9 hotels, and we're going to be at 15 hotels within the next 2 to 3 years. So we're doubling in size. It's a very exciting time, and I think what's more exciting if you look at Saudi Arabia's hospitality sector growth in general, it's not focused on one city and it's not focused on one sector. If you go back 10 years, Saudi Arabia's tourism was probably restricted to religious tourism, Mecca and Medina. While today this is continuing to play a very important role in the tourism sector in Saudi, Riyadh is a hub for business, is where everyone's coming on a Monday morning and working through the week and leaving back on a Thursday night. But you also have a huge development opportunity in secondaries and tertiary cities with local tourism. So it's really a lot happening, and I think in a country like this where the government is leading the change, that helps a lot as well, because there's been a lot of changes to the governance, there's been a lot of changes to the rules that are facilitating the work of hotels and that are really working on elevating the whole experience for guests. So a lot happening in Saudi Arabia right now.
Tell me, how, as an operator, how do you manage that growth whilst protecting the brand, protecting the experience?
That's an excellent question. We always say, we're very proud to say Rotana is probably the only brand of consequence from the region that was able to grow outside of the region. But I think the key success to that growth is to grow sustainably. Naturally, you start growing around that nucleus, right? So we went out from Abu Dhabi, we were in Dubai, then we were in Saudi, then Doha, then Bahrain. Now we are very present in the Middle East, even in difficult locations like Iraq, Erbil, Beirut, etc. I think you have to stay very true to your promise. Rotana was built on the promise that we're going to manage the business for our owners as if it was our business. And if you look back at why this was the case, because our chairman and our vice chairman who started this company 30 years ago, the first few hotels were hotels that, they had friends who were investors and say, okay, let me run this hotel for you. So that promise, I'm not going to ruin my relationship with you because I'm not doing well in the business, and therefore the focus on the owner was very strong from the get-go, and that quality grew as we grew as a company. Today we're almost going to be 100 hotels very soon. We still have that promise in the center of what we do. So I think we're very confident in how we're going to be able to grow. We have brands that are very specific. In Riyadh we are growing with a very specific brand today called Edge, because Edge is flexible, it's not pretentious, and business people and consultants and everyone coming to Riyadh today, they want something that works. And Edge is going to deliver that for them. In other regions, we're growing with other brands. We're going into the UK today with the Central brand. So we have the brands to do it, we have the mindset. We're going to adopt a sniper rifle approach. We're not going to be everything for everyone. And I think that's going to be the advantage we have to grow in these, including Saudi Arabia.
It's great, and you've been talking a lot about the owners, and that's superb and very important from an operational perspective. What about the guests? Tell me about the Rotana guest experience.
If you are in any of our internal meetings, we talk only about the guests and the message, and we have a new CEO that started with us 9 weeks ago. Someone I had the privilege to work with also in the past, so comes from the same mindset. And when we sit with our management teams in the hotels, the first message he's delivering and the first message I deliver is the most important thing is focus on the guest. I think of it as a cycle. If your employees are satisfied and they have the tools to do their job well, they're going to focus on the guest. And they're going to go out and make that guest satisfied and deliver on whatever the guest needs. If the guest is happy, he's going to come back, or she's going to come back. and then you're making money. And if you're making money, then your owner is happy. So it's a whole cycle. We sometimes, as companies, tend to forget why we're in this business in the first place. We're in this business to deliver a service, and we're in this business to meet guest needs. So this is an ever-recurring topic for us in the discussions we have with our team.
You talked already about sort of sustainable growth. There's obviously a kind of component of that which is about the SDGs and ESG. Tell me a little bit about how you've sort of woven that into the DNA of Rotana.
It's very big for us. Obviously, if you go back 30 years ago, it probably wasn't, because it just wasn't as prominent as a topic as it is today. Rotana Earth is our sustainability program. We have a dedicated leader based in our corporate office. She is handling all environmental health and safety, but also sustainability, how we engage with the environment. We have many programs. We have a program called Farm to Table that I'm very close to my heart in Abu Dhabi, where we go and source most of our produce from the local markets. And what that does, it ticks so many boxes, because first of all, you reduce carbon footprint, because there's a lot of carbon emission from shipping produce from other parts of the world, but also engaging with the local farmers and making sure that whatever they're planting is satisfying your needs, and so it becomes that back and forth engagement with the community, which is amazing, which is unbelievable. I mean, we're doing what most of the brands are doing as well in terms of eliminating plastic as much as possible and moving in the communication we have with our guests is, moving the behavior into thinking about the environment in every single thing you do. So very close to our heart. We have a sustainability champion. His name is Alex. He's a young student, but very passionate about this. So we adopted Alex into the company, and he's our champion. So you see some of our feed on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We do a lot of things with him where he comes up and he talks about tips. So because again, we wanted to commit health. Wellness is another part of sustainability. So we have a wellness champion as well. Her name is Nelly. She's currently in Nepal, and she's on a mission to clean up the mountains of Nepal from the plastic and the bottles that are left by hikers. So this is the kind of stuff we're trying to do. We're trying to really bring sustainability into the DNA and the core of what we do.
Thank you for your time today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in Abu Dhabi.